Today, Bitcoin broke 16K and people are freaking out. I'm going to show you which way Bitcoin goes from here. But beneath the surface of the crypto markets, a nuclear arms race for supremacy in both the government and private business is taking place in the cryptoverse. Which company in the current market is going to benefit the most from crypto? While Amazon, Google, and Facebook have already started on their crypto plans, one huge company is lagging behind. I'm going to tell you, though, why that company could be better positioned than all the rest. Let's get it. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like money, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tap the bell for notifications. Also, my crypto beginner course, The Regular Guy's Guide to Crypto, is available and it's crushing it right now. If you want to learn the ropes and the basics of cryptocurrency, head on over to cryptofordudes.com. That's with the number 4. In this video, we're going to look at Bitcoin absolutely torching the markets right now, how Apple could single-handedly usher in adoption, and then maybe planning to do it. Lastly, we're going to look at the libs coming for your crypto. Let's go ahead, jump into the markets. Okay, so taking a look at the markets, you guys will see Bitcoin is at a very important spot right now. It's $16,083 at the time of this recording. And when you look at the Bitcoin chart, it's really interesting. I mean, guys, look at this. This is the all-time Bitcoin chart. This isn't fancy. It's not on TradingView. This is just the Coinbase or the CoinMarketCap Bitcoin chart. And you guys can see this thing is hitting hyperdrive. Look at the volume. Look at the market cap, and look at the volume as well. You will see that we are still. Here's what's so interesting is when you really look down on the bottom corner here, you'll see at this highest move, the volume isn't even as big as this move. Okay, so what that means is there's still a lot of room for us to move, and you can really see how where we're at volume-wise dwarfs where we were in 2017 and 2018, showing the potential for this run. Could be breaking all-time highs very, very, very soon. However, when we look at the price of Bitcoin sitting here now at $16,092, there are a couple of things that we need to consider. Number one is that historically, judging by the last halving cycles, we should still be due for one more big drop before we hit all-time highs. So, we may not hit 20,000. Some people are saying 16 to 20K is going to be easy. I don't think that's the case. If you watched my interview with CryptoFace yesterday or last night, we both kind of think the same thing. We're going to get into the 16s, not quite hit 17, and then drop down. Now, look, I would love to see it rip up to $20,000. And if it does that, that's going to be phenomenal for Bitcoin. The only thing is, historically, looking at the last cycles, we should have one more big drop. So if we don't have it, then that's good news. It just means, hey, this one's a little bit different, and I would welcome that. But if the price does drop, a lot of you guys should be, ready to get back in, get some more, load up, buy the dip, yada, yada, yada. I think, though, the other implication when we look at Bitcoin going way up, if it goes straight to all-time highs, is what effect is that going to have on the altcoin market? We look right now, Bitcoin dominance, 65.2%. It's not up tremendously over the last week since Bitcoin has been pumping. We can pull up the Bitcoin dominance chart, and you can see it's gone in September, 57.48%. Now it's at 64. I guess it really has gone up, actually, but last week it was at 63.54. The point is, it looks like it's kind of a swift move here when you look at the all-time chart of Bitcoin dominance. But when you really zoom in and kind of look at 2020 so far, you can see what's interesting is this has been a very slow, gradual movement since September. We don't have one really big peak in Bitcoin dominance. And it's just very interesting to think about because, if we don't get some kind of giant parabolic Bitcoin dominance move, okay, then what that indicates is that we might not see the whole entire altcoin market bleed. Now, we've seen it bleed some, but it hasn't been, huge casualties, if you will. Now, the decentralized finance kind of crash, if you will, it definitely did have, some dramatic moves there, but that wasn't as much to do with Bitcoin as it was to do with just kind of the oversaturation of the DeFi niche. Now, if you guys ever want to trade Bitcoin, you guys make sure to check out Bybit. You can visit TM.BitBoy.Live, and you guys can sign up there, and then go to the rewards hub and type in win $500, win 500 for your chance at a $540 deposit bonus on new deposits. So you guys check that out. Always be responsible if you're trading, leverage trading, and things like that. Definitely not for beginners. If this is your first time watching a crypto video, you should probably not sign up for that. So let's move on. Let's look at what is happening with Apple. And the long and the short of it is nothing is actually happening with Apple. And that's been the really strange thing, is that as we see a lot of these big companies, Amazon, the Amazon Web Services has been linked to Hyperledger, and also with some other, the Ethereum blockchain. Amazon hasn't jumped full force. They don't have a token. You can't buy, products on Amazon with cryptocurrency yet on Amazon. I think by the end of this run, you probably will be able to once PayPal starts accepting it, which should be very soon. But we've seen Facebook, right? They got zucked. They wanted to have their own Libra coin. The government said, nah, you ain't going to do that, which we'll talk about the government in crypto here in a minute. You also have Google that has partnerships with like Theta and Chainlink and some other cryptocurrency projects as well. So the point here is, what the F is Apple doing? They're just laying in the weeds. They seem to be very anti-cryptocurrency, but they also seem to be very anti- smartphone at first, right? They didn't have a phone. BlackBerry, I guess, I don't know the technical definition of a smartphone, but my BlackBerry seemed to be a smartphone back in the day, and that thing was doing a lot of things that, Apple didn't have a phone that could compete with. But what happened? We saw Windows, we saw Samsung, all these projects or all these companies have these new smartphones, but when Apple dropped theirs, what did it do? It changed your life. It literally changed your life. I have this thing with me everywhere I go. You guys know how important this is to our lives, our phones. And Apple was the one that really created that. Samsung, I don't even like Samsung. But they do have, phones people use nowadays, I guess, if you're into that kind of thing. But Samsung didn't change the game. Apple changed the game. So will we see the same thing in cryptocurrency? Well, Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy, which I always like to point out, none of you guys knew who any of these people were before they bought Bitcoin. He had this tweet where he said, Apple could generate $100 billion or more in shareholder value if they integrated Bitcoin into Apple Pay, built a secure crypto wallet into the iPhone, and began buying BTC with their treasury reserves. That's all true, guys. If they were to do that, they would make so much money. But here's the important thing. Not only would Apple themselves make a ton of money, just like Square has selling Bitcoin, the entire cryptocurrency space overnight could get adopted. If you thought what we saw with PayPal was huge, wait until the iPhone gets a built-in wallet. Wait until the iPhone, you're able to pay with Bitcoin through Apple Pay. And I'm sure there had to be some kind of weird, transactional process that would have to go through. You wouldn't actually be sending Bitcoin most likely to the company, at least where we're at now in crypto. So let's take this idea just a little bit further. But first, I do want you guys to check out my Rarible collection. You guys can go to NFT.BitBoy.Live to check out these bad boys. We got our 4D augmented reality cards. We just released HODL. We just released the HODL card. Once all these sell, we're going to do a giveaway. Then you guys will get your Versus cards. If you need to know more, you can check out the info. It explains everything we're doing. We've got some more goodies coming for you guys with this. But here is HODL. We also have the new Dr. Fudd card that is out. So as soon as all of these bad boys sell out, we're going to hand out some Versus cards. And we're also going to be doing a 6 ETH giveaway for each card that sells. And then don't forget, we have our BitBoy comic, BitBoy Begins, here on sale. Only 50 of those. We sold 11 so far. And we also have our fun BitBoy Extras turkey. It's only 0.07, which I think is like $13. I literally have no idea what it is, but it's probably somewhere. It's very cheap, guys. No excuse for you guys not to get a turkey. If you don't get a turkey, use a Jive turkey. Okay? So you guys make sure to go NFT.BitBoy.Live. Back to the Apple situation. The ETF think tank website here put out this article. Apple should take a bite out of Bitcoin. It just continues to show, how big of a pie Apple is missing out on. And why would they choose not to do that when the return of capital is so big, for possibly bringing in Bitcoin while their numbers are currently going down, okay? Their numbers are currently going down, as you guys can see, but if they were to add this, think about how much money they would be able to bring in. Samsung obviously has made up some of that ground between them. And, a lot of other phones are out there that people use, I guess. I ain't never used another phone. Since I got an iPhone back in 2011, probably is when I got my first one. But the thing is, guys, is that Apple has embraced digital currency according to this site. And this is the thing I really wanted to point out here. It says Apple may already be on the verge. This is the secret plan. On the verge of contemplating such action. Make no mistake about it. The company is intimately involved in the technology and had better play a foundational role in its evolution over the next decade. Apple censors some cryptocurrency and DeFi features of Coinbase. Apple is one of the top this is the big news here, guys. Apple is one of the top patent filers in blockchain. This tells you what you need to know. When Apple comes out with whatever they're going to do with crypto, it is going to make mainstream adoption explode overnight. Hopefully it's during this bull run, or who knows, maybe it could be the catalyst for the next bull run in 2024, 2023, maybe 2024. 2024 is the year there, guys. So yeah, I think Apple still has a lot, I've been a little upset with their attitude towards cryptocurrency, but if they can come and redeem themselves, there you go. Redeeming yourself. It's a Dumb and Dumber reference. Then, I think we'll all be happy with that. Also, guys, Celsius was down earlier today. A lot of you guys were messaging me about it. It's all good. You can trust Celsius. They ain't going to mess with your money. They had some problems with something on the front end of the app that was shut down. Centralization, am I right? But overall, I was never worried about Celsius. And I told anyone who asked me, guys, Celsius is legit. You ain't got to worry about your money disappearing on Celsius. You guys remember that. Are the libs, the most lib of all libs, are they coming for cryptocurrency? Seems like it could be. I've said for a long time that obviously people of the liberal persuasion, especially the politicians, they like control. That's what it's about. It's about controlling because they know what is best for everybody. That's the whole idea of it. So, they know what's best when it comes to whatever issue, and you're going to conform to that. You shouldn't have an option. Like if you vote for Donald Trump, you're a racist. Like that's their thing. Everything's zero-sum games with the liberals, and you guys can see right here. Why in the world would they be for cryptocurrency? There have been some that have made some favorable comments, but you look at Brad Sherman, for instance, who said a lot of terrible things about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. It doesn't line up with their belief system. A free market where we're able to exchange value between each other without having the government to intervene, that does not line up with liberal policies. Think about that for a minute, guys. It really just doesn't. And of course, Republicans, they're not much better either. But the fact is we're starting to see what might happen if Georgia were to lose those two Senate races, and everything it's probably good for the country if there's obviously the check and balance. Some Republicans in power, some Democrats in power. That's probably overall good. That keeps the most people calm. But we could be looking at the president pulling off the election somehow. Maybe there was voter fraud. I don't know. I'm just saying that's something people are talking about. I'm not giving my opinion on it. But we could also have Georgia lose 2 Senate seats, which Andrew Yang is moving to Georgia to vote. Think about that, guys. Moving to Georgia. Doesn't live here. Doesn't care about here. He's moving here temporarily so he can vote in the election. Sketch. Okay? If that happened, people like this, Rashida Tlaib, and I'll tell you, I don't give a F. She sucks. This is the type of controlling person that wants to take everything from you. Unless you have absolutely nothing, and then she wants to give you everything. This is not, these people in the squad, these are the most extreme people in politics right now. Tlaib ripped Brian Brooks, who is the OCC, the deputy of the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, basically oversees banks, for excessive focus on crypto during a pandemic. How terrible. During a pandemic, how can you be thinking about the future of money? How terrible. Somebody needs to tell this biznatch to shut the F up, honestly. I would like to do it. If I could get in front of her, I would be the person to do it. 6 members of Congress faulted the banking regulator's stance on crypto custody and stablecoin services, as well as its plans to offer a fintech charter. In a sharply worded letter, you scolders, you. These people, man. I can't with these people. I'm sorry, I can't with these people. With these ones, I can't. Look, Joe Biden, he ain't that bad. I don't hate Joe Biden. I hope he don't win, but if it is all legit, I'll take it. I ain't that worried about it, as long as we don't lose those Senate seats. But the fact is, these people, this lady is crazy. Like, she's literally insane. All of the people in that AOC, she's crazy. She says stuff that doesn't even make sense. And I know y'all say Donald Trump is crazy too, and I'll accept that. He's a little nuts. But these people, if they get their hands into cryptocurrency, you guys can kiss it goodbye. They're going to make it so hard for you to get into cryptocurrency with the fiat on-ramps and off-ramps. They'll start putting regulations everywhere. So basically, it's not that they can do something to an open source code, right? They can't do anything to Bitcoin, but they can attack the on and off-ramp places. And you see their attitude right now, okay? Because logically, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't logically make sense that we're in a recession due to a pandemic where people spread a disease in person. It doesn't logically make sense to refrain from looking into digital currency options. That's actually the responsible thing to do. But I got a feeling what old Tlaib and old Pelosi want is they want that centralized digital dollar. They want it so they can send out, all of the, food stamps and WIC. And not that that's a bad thing if you have to be on that. I'm certainly not saying that. I don't want you guys to hear me on that. What I'm saying is it would make them easier to send out stimulus money. It would make it easier for them to send out relief funds. It would also make it easier to send out more government handouts. And some people do treat it as a handout. Some people need it. I've known people in my life who have needed it, maybe for even a temporary part-time, and that's a good thing that the government can help people that are really in need. What I'm talking about is the people that are taking the handouts. And, I know people, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm discouraging any group of people. I know a lot of people that are my friends that basically had an opportunity to take a bunch of money from the government for free, and they did it, and they didn't need it, So I think that it's really a thing where when it comes to government assistance, I think a centralized digital dollar could make it where more and more people are dependent on the government. We don't need people who are dependent on the government. The government is why we're heading towards this economic and financial crisis in the next 2 years. No matter who wins this presidency, we're heading towards it. So, not that I want to be overly political here on this, but when you have people like this who are attacking people in cryptocurrency for focusing on a digital currency in the midst of a physical pandemic, it don't make no sense. You got to look deeper beneath the surface here and say, what are they looking at? What are they doing? Because Brian Brooks is from Coinbase, okay? Brian Brooks is from Coinbase. So he understands crypto. He understands decentralization. Where is the centralization coming in? And, it's kind of a scary time when it comes to this because we just don't know we know where Donald Trump stands on Bitcoin. He said, I don't like it. It ain't good. But what's he done? He ain't done nothing, okay? So even though he said in a tweet that I think somebody else wrote for him, he didn't like it, it didn't have that much of a bearing on what we're going through in cryptocurrency and the price of Bitcoin. The instability of a leadership change, it does open a lot of doors for questions on what that future for cryptocurrency is going to look like under a different administration who hasn't really commented on Bitcoin before. And we know a lot of the people in, like I said, Brad Sherman, who I hate Brad Sherman. You could drive a car in that guy's cul-de-sac, okay? We now have Taleb, but it's not just her. It's also Stephen Lynch, Deb Haaland, Ayanna Pressley, Jesus Garcia, and Barbara Lee, all coming against the OCC, all coming against cryptocurrency. So you guys keep that in the back of your mind. I tell you what, I make lists of these people. I make lists of the people that come out against cryptocurrency, okay? That come out for censorship. I watch these people, okay? And, I'm making a list and I'm checking it twice, okay? All right, guys, that's all I got. I rambled for a really long time today. Just let me know what you think about whatever. Drop a comment down below. Be blessed. BitBoy.